Well, it's 6 o'clock and we're all here, so I'll call this meeting to order. And we have the minutes of January 27th.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the minutes of January the 27th.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have warrants 17, the payroll 17P, reappraisal fund number 4, and the Conservation Commission.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes, approve the bills for payment, warrants 17, 17P, the reappraisal fund number 4, and Conservation Commission number 3.
Geraldine seconds it.
Okay, any discussion? Warrant 17 is for $58,395.25. Of that, 42,200 is going to Renaud for repairing the covered bridge, and that the town was reimbursed through our insurance on the bridge. There were payroll transfers, the monthly payment to the Sheriff's Department, to Rescue Inc. There were fuel and some parts for the Highway Department, and some tax refunds for overpayments. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Let's see. Let's see. We have no visitors or public comments.
We did get a note
Letter
from
from
Gail, but
Sorensen.
maybe that comes up when we're talking about the agenda for the
Sure.
information session.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So we could go on to the road foreman's report. We have the certificate of mileage. Did everyone? I sent that
Yeah.
around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see, we have to approve that. Lee has given his blessing on it. So a motion to approve the certificate of mileage.
So this
I'll
is,
make,
okay.
I'll
This is,
make a motion.
okay, go ahead for it. Go ahead, Terry.
Hey, we need those buzzers with the light on them.
Right. I'll make a motion to approve the certificate of mileage for the town highway.
I'll second that, it's Geraldine.
All right, any discussion? No, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Let's see, then we have the municipal roads general permit was issued. Any thoughts on that? Trying to
Is there anything to motion on to do on that, or is that just that they issued the actual permit for us?
Yeah,
We've already done all the paperwork.
right. I don't think we
Okay.
have to do anything with that.
I didn't.
Yeah, Maria?
Yeah, they just issued it. There's nothing that we necessarily have to do.
Right. Okay, other than recognize that we've got it.
Right.
Anything else on the highway department? Have any?
Just that they've been, of course, dealing with the storms. And we had 2 trucks that were down, or actually probably still down, hopefully coming back at any moment. The Dodge diesel went down, is down at Summit with a tie rod, and the International has an EGR valve that needs to be replaced. 2 tows involved, but that's hopefully the tie rod won't take Summit very long. They're waiting for parts.
Okay. All right. Good. Anything else for the highway department before we move on? Under correspondence for information, is there anything there that you would like to discuss? Okay, moving on for correspondence for discussion and or action. Our zoning administrator, Roger, has requested more hours to write up DRB decisions. There are only 3 members of the DRB, I guess, as some will be, terms will be ending soon. So, and other towns tend, apparently have the zoning administrator write up some of the DRB decisions. And that's quite a lot for the 3 members that will have to share among themselves. So Roger's offering to take that over, but it's going to require a few more hours, which we hadn't budgeted for in the budget that we just completed. We talked about this last time and thought that we should give our blessing to this, and grateful that he's willing to do it, and that hopefully we'll find, something out of maybe delinquent tax payments or something to cover the extra couple of hours a month that it might take. So we might formally have a motion to grant him permission to do that.
Motion that we grant.
That we give him permission to add these extra hours to his schedule.
I'd make a motion to add the extra hours that Roger has requested to his.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
I think it's great that he's willing to do it.
Yeah. Okay, well then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
You want me to let Roger know tomorrow?
sure, that'd be great. And then Terry, you seem to be our point person for not only most things, but also the US Census Bureau.
Well, that I believe we sent over because Michael was doing it on the listers.
Right.
So, and I was, unless I'm wrong, so is this something I should just send back to the listers to have him work on?
That sounds like a great idea, Terry.
Okay, I'll email it to the listers.
Okay.
Huh. What a great solution. So we don't need a motion for that. So we could move on to new business. And Terry, you should keep your mic live because this is purchasing policy form and the grant policy form for the LHMP.
Great. So did everybody have a chance to look over what we did last week or 2 weeks ago?
Mhm.
Do we have any issues? We've got the okay from the audit up at the state of Vermont to what we have in Charlotte's questionnaire. So nothing came back with red flags. So if you guys are happy with the purchasing policy and grant policy, then we could just adopt them. We can always tweak if we need to, any numbers or anything at any time, the same with the grant policy, change it up. So what's your thoughts?
Let's see, Charlotte brought up some issues, but I think that we can work through them and try to, yes, as you say, we might have to tweak here and there, but I think this is a good step forward to take.
Yeah.
And gives a little more oversight to some of the budgets that we are trying to oversee also.
Mhm. And Terry mentioned also that it just increases the level of communication. It sort of formalizes the communication that needs to happen, which is helpful.
Yeah. Any other discussion? Terry, just for the home viewers, do you want to tell us what LHMP stands for?
Oh. Oh, boy. It's a mitigation plan. It's the big
Okay.
3-inch binder that it's the mitigation plan that it's a 10-year review. You do it every 10 years for the town, so that if you have any major difficulties in like another Irene or whatever, you're set up with the federal government for FEMA to come in. And so we do it. It's a very broad overview, but at the same time, detailed for the town of Dummerston. And since the last time we did it 10 years ago, they have updated it to make it so that you need a purchasing policy, and highly recommend a grant policy to have in place.
Okay.
Great, that's awesome. Terry, and the letters actually stand for Local Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Thank you. I'm kind of acronymed out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had to search my email for that.
Thank
so
you, Geraldine.
It didn't roll off my tongue.
No, it wasn't. Look, I couldn't quite get there.
Right. I'd been thinking local emergency mitigation plan. Like, I couldn't, wait a
Hazard.
minute, why that's not how I spell emergency.
No, I know.
I'm not a very good speller, so I had to. So how about a motion to approve these?
Okay, so I'll make
Adopt these. Okay.
okay. I'll make a motion to adopt the purchasing policy and the Dummerston grant policy.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Now I can move to the next step.
Yes. Thank you, Terry, for your work on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
So we're going to have an informational meeting ahead of the Australian ballot that we are going to be using in place of our regular town meeting this year. And hopefully next year we can go back to a regular town meeting, but this year we're going to be deciding things by a ballot. And we're holding a meeting to go over the warnings and take questions, try to explain all the items that we would usually discuss and talk about at town meeting. And then ballots will be available on town meeting day, and ahead of that, Lori should have them ready soon for early voting. And that's how we'll vote on things like granting tax exemption to the Evening Star Grange and other issues that we tackle on town meeting day, like the budget and a few other things like that. So Maria did a agenda, and BCTV is going to be involved in filming this. So what thoughts do you have about this and how we should proceed?
Have we seen the agenda that Maria came up with?
I have. I don't know if we sent it around.
I thought I only sent it to Zeke because everyone was going to send their ideas to Zeke and I, and we never got any. So I think I only sent it to Zeke.
Okay. So it would be great to see it. I guess I needed something to react to rather than sending ideas. I'm sorry I didn't respond. So there is a meeting that I'm attending tomorrow, a Zoom meeting with BCTV as a rehearsal, as a practice.
Mhm.
And I believe that Cindy Jerome, our town moderator, will also be participating in that practice session. And this is a practice session with multiple towns, you know, Guilford and Putney and the different towns that are going to take advantage of BCTV's offer to support these information sessions. Will be practicing together. And so for me, it'll be important to have a copy of that agenda so that I can kind of think through how this is going to work. And Cindy also, in terms of her moderating activity.
Okay. Well, I'll go back and find what I sent Zeke and I'll forward it to you.
Sure.
Okay. And in terms of the logistics of the information session, the Zoom meeting, we will be using our own town account. And I will host it, and BCTV will join as co-hosts. So they'll be doing some, you know, things like admitting people to the meeting, communicating with individual members to have them share their video or stop sharing their video. They'll help with the muting. And Cindy will really be running the meeting. So even though I'm the host, Cindy will be facilitating the meeting as the town moderator.
Did we get the account set up so we can handle more people?
I haven't communicated with our town office about that. I was kind of waiting to do this practice
First.
session.
Yeah, that makes
but
sense.
That's a really good reminder. So can you just run down, I mean, Zeke, do you have that agenda in front of you? Can you just kind of run down it so that we have at least a sense of it?
Okay, I just emailed it to everyone.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay, well,
let's
that's
see.
helpful.
I think I did.
Yeah, you did. I got it.
Okay, great. So we're going to start off at 6 with our regular meeting. We hope to go through that and be done in time to start our BCTV portion or the informational meeting at 6:30. And we'll call that meeting to order, special meeting. And we're just thinking of going through the articles, articles 2 through 7. And I guess maybe we should look through the warning, and if people want to be the point person for questions on certain items, we can, that's sort of a scheduling thing. We could sort of discuss that, who's going to take that. And does anyone have the articles in front of them?
No, I was just trying
Hold
to
it
figure out
up
how
to the
to
screen.
find those.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's something that Maria sent to us at one point, probably.
yeah, so Article 1 is just, we don't deal with that because that's the election stuff.
Right.
Article 2 is approve the auditor's report, which probably is a moot one for us. I mean, to explain, or
We could, if someone has a question, we can explain that.
yeah. But I mean, in terms of point person, you know, put a point person. 3 is the authorize the select board to be receiver of delinquent taxes. 4 is authorizing the sum of raising the sum of $210,000 through taxes for the capital fund for future capital needs.
Right. that would be a good one to have a point person on. And, I seem to remember Maria doing the capital article last year.
Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
Okay, and then the next one is the capital expenditure purchase of the dump truck at a price not exceeding 170,000 from the capital plan fund.
Okay,
That's 5.
yeah. Let's see.
I mean, so we don't know if Lee will be able to attend this or not. Because a lot of times he speaks to something like that. So,
Right.
Right. So that's the 2012 International. It was due. I'll just take it because it's pretty self-explanatory that it's had issues and it's time anyway.
Okay.
6 is authorize the following capital expenditure, the purchase of 2 sets of gear from the fire department, not exceed 4,000.
Okay.
That's number 5.
That's number
6.
6. I mean, if nobody's there from the fire department, I mean, we could just say this is what they want. I'll point person that one.
Well, I think this is the time now where we would say, well, let's give somebody the heads up that, we'd like to make sure that someone from the fire department could speak to this. That's where I don't think that we as a select board should take the responsibility for this whole, for everything, all the articles.
So do you want me to email Rich and see if he's going to join the informational meeting?
Sure.
Yeah, and just flag it up for him that, there's this article and we would ask him to clarify. And just to reiterate that this meeting is solely for clarification.
Right.
It's not to advocate for anything. It's
no
clarification. So he needs to know that as much as, anybody who comes to the meeting and asks questions, so that, and Cindy is very aware of this. So as moderator, she'll make sure that that's the case.
Yeah. I'll give him a call or email him, one or the other, tomorrow. Okay, so number 7 is authorize the following capital expenditure, the purchase of computers at a price not to exceed $6,000 from the capital fund. This is for the town computers. That would be more Lori or Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would. Yep.
Yep.
Do you want
They're going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to give them the heads up that if somebody asks for clarification, they would be?
That'd be great.
Okay, number 8 is general fund expenditures, 507,490, of which 314,907 shall be raised by taxes and 192,583 by non-tax revenue for the period of July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022.
That's got Zeke's name
There's
all over
Zeke.
it.
And I'm thinking, Maria is so knows the budget forward and backwards also. So we could co do that.
So do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Article 9. Huh?
I'd say the same thing with Article 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the highway fund.
Yep.
All right. And so now we are on to number 10, which is authorizing the sum of 5,000 through taxes and appropriate set amount for the highway structures fund.
Oh, see there again, that would normally be Lee, but
Well,
Who'd like?
well,
yeah, I mean, You can put me down. I mean, we basically just did what Lee asked us to do. So,
Right.
in that case,
That's what I was gonna say. You want to do
so-
it, or?
yeah,
Well,
that's fine.
but is somebody going to ask a question that we could, anticipate? So for example, even David could, take it if he knew what the questions might be and find out, do a little, he could.
Well, for example, I was thinking that if there's a question on why wasn't there a raise, a salary increase? Because Terry and I were involved in doing the survey, perhaps I can handle that if that question
Yeah.
comes up.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you're right,
Um,
David. That makes me realize that it's not just questions of clarification, but it's also rationale.
Yeah.
Because what we're looking for is to give people the confidence to vote yes on this budget. And so that, that's going to be reflected in the rationale that we can offer that gives people confidence.
Yeah, so I think we can all, it's not like we're standing at a podium.
Right.
We can, have different people on the board comment and address questions. And so
Right.
Right, but now's our chance to sort of anticipate it so that we give each other and any other people that we're thinking the heads up that they're going to be on the spot for this particular article or this particular, this question might come up.
Right. Yeah, and I think we've done that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
far.
So the next one would be the highway and blasting ledge crushing fund at 18,540. I mean, I'll go on that. I did it last year. I mean, that's basically what we set it up last year, and this is the agreement with the Putney. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got 11.
Sounds good.
All right, now we're really interested here. Number 12 is the Evening Star Grange.
I mean,
I don't think we're going to have any questions on
Right.
the next two.
Green
Yeah.
Mountains 13.
Yep.
And then the 14 and 15 are to do with the school. I mean, I
Right.
am in no position to
No.
offer any opinion on that.
And this is where the meeting could go off
Yeah.
the rail, as we
Well,
say.
who is the person that would be the point person to speak to those 14 and 15?
Is it Christina?
If I were looking for some information on this question, I think Christina Naylor is who
Yeah.
even though she's not on the school board,
Mhm.
I think of her when I think of a school issue. And but what do other people think?
I'd be happy to talk with Christina and ask her about this general topic and who she thinks. Does she want to talk? Who else does she think would be good to be available to talk, to respond?
Yeah, I think that's good, David, except that it's kind of going around the school board. So we're the select board and, we're initiating this meeting and going to take most of it. But these are questions sort of for the school board.
Yeah.
And so who's our Dummerston rep on the unified board?
I don't know. I can't remember the name, but did we just get an email regarding that where they
No.
couldn't get involved in this?
Oh,
So
Yeah.
this is where it gets a little bit hokey.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
who can talk? That's why I think that's why Zeke's thinking Christina Naylor,
perfect.
or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was kind of in the old mind of the
Oh.
Dummerston School Board.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I apologize. I
Certainly,
apologize.
yeah. If
No.
that was the case, then
So
Yeah.
David, that's great.
Okay.
You'll
I'll
talk
That'd be
to
good.
Christina.
good.
Okay. So Yeah,
Yeah, and Cindy's going to run the show, just like she does at town meeting.
Yeah.
So that's, and we're hoping to wrap things up by 8 o'clock.
And you'll announce that at the beginning. The target is.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
Cindy will start the program going once we open it, I guess. And I think she'll provide all the preamble for the meeting. And I'll get in touch with her. Geraldine, you've been in touch with her also.
With Cindy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll touch base with her.
Yeah, and she and I will know a lot more after this practice
Right.
session tomorrow.
Right, great.
and the other thing is too, I'm gonna try to get in touch with Lee here and let me see if he's thinking of coming in on this. So it'll give us an idea too.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
idea.
And of course, it's the 24th.
Fourth,
So, gee whiz, 2 weeks away. So he could, yeah, things,
he could just call in.
yeah.
Did everybody get the email about the town report?
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
So we're not sure that we're going to have that. Is that right?
Well, 2 weeks, we
Yeah.
could let's hope for the best, but
Yeah.
Lori, for people watching this on their television or computer, there's an unfortunate delay in getting the town report to the printer. So it's there now, and hopefully they'll be able to take care of it in an expeditious way and get it out in time. But Lori, in the meantime, has asked Kevin Ryan to post the report on the town website.
that's
So-
great.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in terms of the requirements of the warning, Maria mentioned that if there is a risk that we aren't going to meet that requirement, what we need to do is send the articles to the reformer in the Commons and have it public in that way, right, Maria?
Yes, yep.
I think
That would, at least then we would meet the statutory requirements to have it properly warned. So,
Right. Don't we do that anyway?
I'm not sure if the auditors do it or if Lori does it.
Yeah, okay,
So,
check. I'll check with Lori on that. If people would like.
Yeah, that would be great,
Okay.
Zeke. I'd like to make sure that we meet those requirements. So Gail Sorensen's comment, I think, is relevant now,
Yes,
perhaps?
it is. Do you want to give a summary of it?
She requested that at this informational meeting, we give time to the 3 select board people that are running. 2 of the 3 people are not as well known, and so it does give an opportunity for town people to know who's going to be on the ballot. In addition, she'd like to see Lori do something with her town email, but I think what we need to talk about right now is do we want to make it part of our information session? And if so, where would we put that?
can we do that? Considering that it's an informational town meeting and we're doing it because normally at town meeting, candidates can't present themselves
Right.
because that's why we're like Article 1, we're not even, we shouldn't even discuss it at the informational meeting.
Right. I'm wondering if I should just recuse myself from this.
No way, Zeke.
No, no.
Forget that.
All right. That's a good point that Maria brings up.
Do you want me to ask VLCT?
Yeah.
Oh, I think Lori would know the answer to that.
Okay, well, I have to contact Lori anyway about, well, Zeke, you're going to contact her about the statutory requirement. So maybe it goes more with that than with what I'm going to contact Lori and Charlotte about.
How about, yes. Why don't you, how about you ask?
Okay.
Put that one on your list,
Okay,
if you
Sure.
please. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, great.
okay, good. I can do that.
And then her last sentence also asks about maybe Lori including information in her weekly email.
I'll add that.
Um,
Yeah. I'll include that.
And that's actually entirely up to Lori. I'm assuming that as town clerk, that she would not want to show any bias in one way or the other towards any of them.
Right, she would need to just, so I know that the candidate statements have been given to the Views of Dummerston, and that issue of Views of Dummerston is coming out prior to March 2nd, so it'll
Right.
be in there.
Yep. Yeah,
And she could
and
just,
that's the appropriate place for it to be.
right,
Yeah.
although she may feel comfortable taking whatever the Views of Dummerston is publishing and just, putting that in there. I don't know, but I'll respond to Gail.
Yeah, that's entirely up to Lori. That,
Okay.
I mean, because Lori also runs the election, so she has to be, she has to. There's different rules for Lori as town clerk and the election official.
Okay,
But Lori knows exactly what she can and can't do. So.
okay, good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and Mitch has given us information on who our reps are to the school board.
Yeah.
So
Did you see that, David? In the
Me?
chat, Rich says that
The
Michelle.
chat? Okay, let me look. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you, Rich.
Yep, no problem.
Okay. Oh. Okay, so any more discussion on that?
David, do you want me to cut and paste it into an email for you?
Oh, yeah, if you could, that would be
Yeah,
great.
I'd
Thank
be
you.
happy to do that.
Yeah, okay, great.
You look like you're struggling.
Got it. Before it disappears.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got it. I got it.
Oh,
So anything else? So we'll,
I'll make a motion. We adjourn.
Second.
Wow.
okay.
okay. Well, I'll see you in 2 weeks. then.
Yes, yes. Oh, and I just, real quick, I'm gonna take that webinar tomorrow on the vaccine. I'll do my normal email to you all.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Enjoy the
You're welcome.
snow. The wonderful snow. It's magnificent snow.
Hey, great,
All right,
thanks,
good night
everyone.
all.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care, everyone. Take care.
Yep.